make sure that you're supporting your kids at school. Parents get involved, and kiddos, make sure you're doing what you need to do to make sure you have some success.
Gina, this former teacher turned student advocate, says the hours and months spent fighting for basic security measures at a school playground have finally paid off. Her message tonight: speak up.
When I heard the news that the fence was built, I was like crying. I couldn't help my tears.
A visceral reaction for Marie Cortez.
I didn't believe it until I came and I grabbed it and touched it.
For the upgraded fence at Best Elementary School, going from this broken chain link fence that didn't even connect to a sturdy wrought iron statement. It seems like an obvious solution, but there really was nothing simple about getting this done. Marie began her fight last December when a trespasser walked onto the playground at recess, grabbed a child, and struck Marie as she tried to intervene.
Students were screaming. I ran to save the girl. I got in between them, and the lady hit my right arm.
She sent emails to Alief ISD leadership and confronted their school board.
Please help us build a fence that will protect the children.
Then begged Houston City Council to step in.
From that day on, my life changed completely, and I'm here to get help.
The school playground, located along a prostitution corridor in Southwest Houston, faces the street. It is now finally separated by 6 feet of iron.
One of the kids told me yesterday, they're like, I get to come to recess now and I don't have to worry. I said, yes, that's it. We don't want you to worry.
Shelley Childers, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Here on the Shine podcast, we not only want to highlight people like my mother who are going out in the field and advocating for the children who need our help, need our leadership, but we also want to highlight the success principles and the people who are leaders in these school systems, who are making a change in their school and in their community through their leadership roles. So today, we're highlighting Freddy Delgado, superintendent and principal. Here's a clip of what's going on at his school. Check it out.
Hi, my name is Freddy Delgado. I am the superintendent of Friends for Life Public Charter School. We are currently enrolling students from pre-K 3 through 8th grade, and we will provide you with a virtual tour of our great school. So follow me.
Hello friends, welcome to Shine with Marilena Cortez and Mark Sedgwick. Today we're here talking about the importance of leadership and how impactful you can be as a leader. So we are with an amazing director and a superintendent at Amigos por Vida, Freddy Delgado. Thank you for having us.
Yes.
Thank you for being here, and hi to the audience out there.
Yeah, and so we're so excited to have this man on our podcast. It was kind of a shocker to me. My mom just kind of said, hey, we got to interview Freddy. I'm like, oh, Freddy, yeah, I've known him since I was a little kid, of course. So I want to start off the podcast with origin story. That's usually what we do.
Yes.
He's making a lot of awesome big moves, and he's helped a lot of kids and teachers. And I want to know, how did you guys meet, and how are we here today? Why are we here today?
We've known each other, for about 20 years or more.
Yes, right.
I met Maria Elena when she was a teacher in A-Leaf, and I was the president of ABE, and she became the bilingual teacher of the year. So I got to interview her and see her class, and then our friendship has continued. She's worked with me, and now that she's doing other things, we continue to stay in touch.
That's good.
That's right. And Freddy has been a person I've always admired for his tenacity. Everything he sets his mind to, he does it. And I just love that and admire you so much over the years. I think that's one of the things that keeps connecting me to you, because every time I see you dream or set a goal and you achieve it, I'm like, those are the kind of people I like to be around. So thank you for allowing me to be your friend and allowing our friendship to grow over the years.
Yes, and so you have made a lot of progress too, so that's a good thing. I see you doing all your little activities and all that, helping the community and helping all the kiddos that you have come in touch with, and all the nonprofit things that you do, so that's really great too.
Well, thank you so much. And you obviously also inspire my son
Yes.
and my daughter. I think, they pay attention very closely what kind of friends we have. So it's so important that we also surround our kids with people that not will inspire us, but can also inspire our kids. Mark's getting ready to be a PE coach, so next week he starts that new challenge. Yes.
Yeah, and that's so big. Yeah, I mean, I started on Monday. Yoo-hoo. It's my first time with a big boy job, as they say. My first step in my career towards being a coach and a teacher and stuff like that. So I've been so blessed to have you guys as mentors, and I've been watching you guys for so many years, and so many other folks I've been watching through good friendships of my mother, and it's been really good to see the ups and the downs and the trials and the tribulations, but also the overcoming. And that's what we're talking about today, is good leadership. It's something so practical and so applicable to today. We need good leaders. Every nation needs good leaders. Every school needs good leaders. Every home needs good leaders.
That's right.
So that we can then create the next generation of good leaders. So
yes. But before we continue, of course, we want to know the background of Freddy. And can you tell us a little bit about what you started being a leader at your home? Where did you come from?
I was raised in Puerto Rico, born in the United States, but raised in Puerto Rico. So I had inspiring teachers in high school that made me want to become a teacher. And so I've been at this for 33 years. I've been a teacher in Puerto Rico for a year, 7 years in Houston ISD as a teacher, then as an administrator, so total 19 years with HISD. I've done the Region Center. I was a bilingual ESL specialist for about a year there, and then I missed the principalship, so I came back to the charter world. And I've been total at this school 10 years, and for the last 7 years we've been an A-rated school, so we've kept our A. Even through the pandemic, we were able to maintain our A, and our students and our teachers are just wonderful that they're there supporting our kiddos. We were able during the pandemic to provide laptops and internet services for all of our kiddos, and being a small charter, that is a big success on her. But it helped us impact the students, and they saw the importance of the connection at home, because the parents now had to connect and be with the little kids, but we were able to be successful and continue to be successful now with the new STAR redesign. Our scores in reading are just all in the 90s, and so are our math scores. So we're looking forward to probably celebrating another year of an A. And even though we're still higher than the state and to our surrounding schools, so we've been able to just keep the academics going, but I think it is the work. It's not my work. It's the work of the teachers that are in the classrooms and our wonderful administrators that support the teachers in the classroom.
That's awesome. And that's very humble of you to say, to give the credit to the teachers. They are the soldiers, and you are sort of like the general who's showing them, guiding them, encouraging them and all this kind of stuff. You need a light at the top in order for more light and more life and more encouragement and more enthusiasm to then trickle down, of course, right?
Yes, and I watch you just become the amazing leader that you are today, and it's just so you didn't get here just because somebody gave you this magical world. You created this environment, a safe environment, and an excellent education for everyone here at Amigos por Vida. So I applaud you for that. And one of the questions I have for you is, what does it take to become that leader that everybody's going to feel safe and feel good to have as a leader?
I think it's a transition, because my first years as principal, I was like, it's either my way or the highway. But then you start looking at, you have to have a team of teachers. You have to have support. So a leader shows his leadership by looking behind him and seeing who's following him or her.
Yeah.
So you can't be a leader if you don't have a team following you. So we take in consideration our teachers, what their opinions are, what materials we're going to do, so we do listen to our teachers, our parents, our big community involvement with our parents. They feel like they can have a voice here. We open our budget at the end of the school year. We tell them this is what worked, this is what didn't work, where do we want to put the money, where do we want to do put the efforts in making sure. So we choose the top 3 and we work on them for the new school year coming up.
I love it.
That's
So
really
beautiful.
good.
Yes.
And just before we move forward on the future, I want to go back to your past. So what was your degree in Puerto Rico? What did you teach for that 1 year in Puerto Rico?
My degree was in secondary education, and I was an ESL teacher for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
Oh, wow.
And so
Okay.
then
So you taught English in Puerto Rico?
I taught English in Puerto Rico.
Oh, wow.
So
Cool.
yes, Puerto Rico does dual language. So I did the ESL for the middle school.
Oh, wow. Nice.
And
Yeah.
then
Very
I
cool.
came here to Sharpstown Middle School and did the same thing, ESL for our Spanish speakers that were just brand new to the country. So it was like the newcomers program.
Right. And so one of the things that my mom and I, we were watching a video of a leader before arriving here, and I remember one of the things that he said is, be a continual learner. Never stop learning.
Exactly.
And so I guess I want to talk about what you're learning about now. How do you continue learning? What are you still curious and hungry to learn about? But also, what made you so hungry to learn English? Were you born into an English-speaking family, or how did you learn English so fast?
Well, my father was in the Army, so we kind of traveled around. So I kind of learned English being, we were in El Paso, and so lived there 3-4 years, and then went to Puerto Rico at the age of 9 and stayed through college there. But we always kind of maintained our English, and the importance of speaking 2 languages
Right, yeah.
really makes a big difference, especially in Houston and
Yes, it does.
any of these countries that we need to make sure that we are bilingual. Bilingual is the way of the future now as well, so we have to continue working on that. So.
Yeah, it's very powerful, and you get to touch the lives of so many more people because you get to communicate with them, right?
Exactly.
Good communication is a big leadership quality. So if you want to be a leader, learn a second language, and we're on the border of Mexico, Texas.
Exactly.
So obviously Spanish is one of the main languages we need to know because people are coming in, and
But yeah, surrounding ourselves with the right people, but you were lucky to also have a great leader at home, which was your dad.
Yes.
And so beautiful. I had the chance to meet him already, and your mom is amazing. She actually, I got to take her out with my mom when she was alive, and they got to wear a hat with flowers that I made for them. It was just so cute, and they're still with you. So you have that also leadership still at home now. You're taking care of your parents.
Yes.
And I love that about Freddy, and I admire that so much because a lot of grown-ups will leave their parents behind or will put them in a senior home, and you have them there, you're taking care of them, and you are sacrificing a lot of things to take care of them. So we were mentioning about, how leaders sacrifice a lot of things to get where they need to be. So they're not just learning and continual learning that's happening, but you're also sacrificing some things. What are some of the things that you are sacrificing or that you've sacrificed in your past that get you to those next levels?
Well, one big sacrifice I think is at the beginning is family, because you're trying to build and recover, so you kind of lose notion of time and just work, and there's not a good balance. So now that I'm taking care of my elderly parents, my father was the leader because he was in the Army and he was a master sergeant and he was like the leader of the pack. So now he has to step down and I have to step up to make sure that they continue having a good future. But sacrifice now, I'm putting my family first and kind of stepping down from my duties as the principal. So now we will have a full-time principal and I'll just be the superintendent as we work through our growth and expansion here at our school.
That's right. By the way, congratulations, because he is the superintendent of Amigos por Vida Charter School. Share with us your mission statement. I know we are gonna, when I was here, one of the things that attracted me from the mission statement was about the personal success. Like you want to make sure that the kids are long-time learners.
Exactly.
But I would like you to share that. If you don't know it, I guess we have it here to read.
Well, we have it in a nutshell is we want our kids to become the future leaders so that learning never stops. And we can proudly say that we've inspired our kids so much that some of them come from high school and decide to come back and give to our school. Right now, we just hired a brand new teacher, 24 years old. She came to Amigos por Vida while we were in the apartment complex across the street, and she wanted to give back to the community, so she's going to be our pre-K teacher. And so she is a daughter of one of our current employees that has been here. So the generations continue coming, and as we continue growing, our kids that were here and now our parents, they're bringing their kids, and some of our employees bring their grandkids here. So it is a big community school, and our kids come back to give to the community. So we're good.
I love it, because where were you when I needed that support? I know we had just met, but my dream was to always, have it be in a school where my kids could be part of. And I dragged my kids up to second grade. They always were in every school that I taught. They were there up to second grade. But it would have been beautiful to, have had a principal and a leader like you who supported that, and that we could still keep our kids there. A lot of times they would say, yeah, you can have the kids, but then they were not giving us the best example. They were not keeping us safe. There was issues, so I would take out my kids out of those schools to put them in a more safe environment, and an environment where they could grow and be respected and learn. So again, I just applaud you for doing everything you're doing. I think it's the ideal school for any parent to have that kind of leadership and that kind of role model, because you're not just here as a leader, you also live a life with integrity and lead by example at home. So I love that. I love that. That means a lot.
Absolutely. And let's get to something a little bit more, a little deeper. So a lot of the kids. Let's talk about behavior and family struggles. So I'd like to just let you take it where your heart wants to go. But how do you handle the really deep struggles of the children? There's a lot of hardship that goes on in the kids' lives at times. A lot of trauma and stuff like that. So how do you, as a leader, help to solve those kinds of problems?
Well, we know that mental health is one of the biggest areas that we need to support. So we're blessed to have a counselor that is really excellent, and we provide that mental health support as well as counseling for the kids. We also counsel our parents, and we open the school to classes for parents to make sure that they can they can be able to protect their kids and be knowledgeable of what signs, new apps now that come out. So we try to maintain our parents aware of that. So we provide classes for them to keep it safe. Speaking of safety, we're now, with above the state requirements, so all our doors are locked from the outside. You have electronic panels to get in. We also have our gates completely locked. You have to almost be to call in. It's almost like fortified like a jail. I have to say that, but it is a way of keeping our kids safe, and so we will continue to put safety above all else.
Yeah, high security.
Yes.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Yes.
And specifically, though, if a kid were to come up to you and tell you a struggle, how would you handle that? Like maybe something's going on at home, or maybe he just got taken or something, and he just came here for safety. How would you handle that?
We have the good thing is all our kiddos know that our open door policy, so they could reach to any administrator, any teacher, and if a kid came particularly to me, I would sit with him or her and make sure that they told their story, and we'd see how we can support. I've had stories where the kid has come up and told me, I struggled with my grandfather raped me when I was small. We came fleeing from Mexico here, and they were struggling with just overwatching, looking behind to see if who was going to come and take them or who was going to come and do harm to them. And so this was a safe haven for them and the parents. We were able to make sure that they got protective services, CPS, or we got other agencies involved to where they were able to be safe. And that is for all our kiddos that reach out either through the teachers or counselors or other. We want to make sure that all our kids are safe, that they are protected, and we have different agencies that we have partnerships with so that we can refer them if we cannot provide the services. Another great thing that we've done, and this came through the pandemic, while our families, a lot of them reached out to us. They were struggling, food, this, that. So we opened our school during the pandemic, and we went to the food bank. We had some partnership with some churches, and we provided our families with at least an essential meal. We were canned food, we provided meats for them.
That's so
good. Depending on the number of kids that came to our school, we provided that for the family. And that opened what we called our crisis fund. And this was strictly funded through all our teachers that volunteered, decided to give money, administrators and all that. So it's our crisis fund. And right now, other entities have seen that we've have this crisis fund. So we've gotten companies, our business partners have donated into that. So now we're able to provide uniforms, jackets, brand new shoes, anything that our kiddos need for our families. And it continues to be part of what our mission is to, make it kids safe in a good, safe environment so they can learn.
I love it. So Amigos por Vida are really friends for life.
Yes.
That's good.
Which is your, the name of your charter school. And I love it when a school really is implementing what their mission statement is all about, and you are a perfect example of that. And that's why we chose to interview you, because we've been trying to get you on the podcast for at least the last 2 years. But there's always something. But thank you so much for giving us your time today. I want to ask you then, was there anyone else besides your father who inspired you and helped you be the strong man with faith that you are today?
Well, it started, of course, my father in Puerto Rico, but early age, I learned, I gave my life to Jesus, and so that kind of helped me shape my life. You have your kids in the house, but, I always rely, so we have a partnership with the church right now, and they come and they support our field days, they support our kiddos. And so now that the state has approved pastors or other people to be able to help with our students, so we're going to be able to reach out to that without the state and religion separation.
Oh, wow.
So that is a
Tell us about that, please.
Yeah.
I did not know
this. I think more schools or more principals need to know about this. And how did you accomplish this?
This is, it was the state that just approved it not too long ago. So I know there was a shortage on counselors and people to find a certification. So now youth pastors, any religion, it's not just Christian, it could be Catholic, it could be any, depending, I guess, on the number of the type of background your kids are from, so you would try to match a counselor that would do their faith better. But it's open for pastors, for youth counselors, anyone that's not certified, they can be part of the team of helping our students with their struggles.
Wow. And I got a question. Because I'm about to become a coach, as we've shared and as you know. And I love God, and He has changed my life in some big ways. When I have tripped and fallen, I prayed, and He lifted me up, like seriously, and He continues to uplift me and change my life, change my attitude, change my perspective, and humble me and work with me and guide me. And so I want the kids to experience that same kind of help, that same kind of faith, that same kind of hope whenever they're falling or tripping or going through trauma. So as a coach, do you know about how I can handle that kind of situation? What if I'm a pastor of a church while I'm also a coach?
Well, it's always, if the students initiate that they want for you to counsel them, or you want for them to pray, then it is, it does not interfere with them. Even the students can lead prayer groups at school.
Wow.
And as long as all students, and then you can have some adults, but it's still a fine line between state and church separation. So we just, now it looks like those lines are kind of coming together so that we can provide our students with that support.
Yeah,
Wow.
and the key is you don't enforce anything on the student. The student has to come to you. But I did it for many years. Actually, my 25 years of teaching, I can tell you, kids would come to me. So I always tell my son, lead by example. If the kids know that you're a Christian, it's not because you're telling them, it's because they're seeing the love that you're spreading among each other. They see that you have integrity. They're going to trust you, and they're going to be more freely and comfortable to go and ask you hey, could you pray for me? I used to have those questions all the time. Kids would just come and say, Ms. Cortez, ¿podemos orar? And I was like, how did they know I was Christian? But it's because of the way I was with the rest of the kids. I was kind, I was loving. Every time I saw a problem, I solved it. I didn't say, oh, I'm sorry, that's not my department, like they do at the grocery stores.
Wow.
You go ask for help, and they'll be like, oh, that's not my department. Let me get somebody else.
Wow.
I was like, no, you know what? That's not my department, but this kid just asked me to pray with them, or just asked me for advice.
Yeah.
So I would do it right there, and then I would let the principal know, the counselor know, and everybody. I documented everything. So you, as a teacher, I would say to you, document everything.
Okay.
And keep it, and let the parents know as well. Like, unless the kid is asking you not to tell anybody, then at least the counselor needs to know.
Yeah.
And they would keep it confidential.
Keep it someone at the school, or have another adult present when there. But yes, we have some Christian staff members, and some of our upper grade students request prayer from the teachers, right before test or for issues that they're going through.
I love it.
So they do have that here at the school. So we're open to everything and everyone. So not just Christian. So we look at other faith. We have different beliefs here, and we all are one big family. So
Amen.
Come join us.
Yeah.
Yes. So talking about joining Amigos por Vida, they're under a big transformation. So I would like you to tell us about what's next for Amigos por Vida.
Well, Amigos por Vida has just right now just blown up and having kids coming everywhere.
Wow.
Our name has been getting out, so we are right now expanding and building out a middle school within the campus, a new cafeteria, a new stage. We're adding additional classrooms because we're busting at the seams. So right now you'll see us, with temporary buildings in the front, but that's just to house the extra 150 kids we've gained this year alone.
Wow.
So our voice or our name is getting out there. So a lot of people are coming too. So we still need students to fill in all the seats we're going to have available. And we also need certified teachers. So if you're out there, come join us. We're always looking for great teachers.
Yes.
Awesome.
And I can say, after working with you, I can say and testify that, yes, it's great working with you. unfortunately, I had to go on and do other things, and especially, start the business with my son and work for the city. And now I'm in Galveston working in projects with the city of Galveston. So, hey, you know what? Just don't give up. Keep your the flow going and find the perfect school that fits you and your character. And I know that here in Amigos por Vida, you would be a great asset to this campus if you want to be in an atmosphere where family matters, community matters, and kids matter. So I really thank you for your time. Do you have any other questions, Mark?
No questions, just a big thank you. I appreciate everything, and you always having that door open with my mom, and you guys always having good communication, and no matter the circumstance, whether she left to go do her next thing, you guys still remain friends, and that's a beautiful thing. A lot of people burn bridges whenever they separate or go their separate ways, but it's good to have the door open, because life continues, and we got to be brothers and sisters.
That's right. So thank you so much for joining us. Is there any last words you want to say before we say goodbye?
Just keep it real now, and just make sure that you're supporting your kids at school. Parents get involved, and kiddos, make sure you're doing what you need to do to make sure you have some success. Remember, education is everything, and they cannot take that away from you. And that education opens the door for all of you to be able to help parents in the future. So,
that's right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Freddy. And don't forget to never stop shining your beautiful light. No matter where you're at, you can be a leader. You can become that leader that you want to be, and shine your beautiful light upon your children, your community, your nation, and the world. Until next time, we'll see you then. Be blessed.
Thank you.
Adios. Cool. Good job. Thank you.
And that was good.
And I want to give you this as a gift.
Thank you.
For being on the show, and I appreciate it a lot, man.
Much.
That's the journal I created for the youngsters, and
good.
It's just a social
It's a
emotional.
journal. Yeah, it's a journal.
good.
So it has the questions and then something.